Fear of falling asleep. Any advice? I'm also 21, but I never crossed my mind about being scared about sleeping. Since I always listen to YouTube podcast stuff so I can sleep fast. You are not crazy. Overthinking. Maybe. But not necessarily. Maybe it would help you to learn more about how people fall asleep. There are also techniques that are meant to induce lucid dreaming and involve that you try to stay conscious when you enter the dream state. Maybe this might be interesting too. In a know your enemy kind of way. I actually have that too. It's like a sleep anxiety. Sometimes I'll play something on the TV or a YouTube playlist to keep out of my head. Just close my eyes and listen until I fall out. I spoke to my doctor about it and he gave me a medication I can take that makes me really sleepy. It's non-addictive. Doxepin, I think it's called? Sleep anxiety is a real thing and it sucks ass. I have to have something to distract me. But not keep me away when I lay down. In fact, my TV is playing a playlist of 4 different shows I watched a lot even right now as I'm waking. Lol, if it's too bad. Though, consider getting some external help. That's a pretty intense anxiety and it probably wouldn't hurt to talk to someone on it. One of my best friends struggles with this and anxiety meds were a drastic difference to their life. Try to compare it to something else completely natural. Are you anxious about breathing? Think about how silly that is because it's something that humans have to do to stay alive. Compare it with other things like drinking water. Are you scared of drinking water? Draw the comparison back and forth between this as natural things that are not, in fact, dangerous or scary. In what ways are you taking care of your mental health? Medication and a good night's sleep. I have felt so much better after my psychiatrist prescribed me sleep-inducing medication. They are not sleeping pills, because I have slept so much better. If you have problems with sleep, hard time falling asleep, waking up at night multiple times even for a second, do something about it. By not making myself available to people all the time and not giving all my energy to help make someone else's life easier. In being selfish for once and in prioritizing myself first. Keeping busy really allows me to forget about my feelings and function very productively. This includes going to the gym. Doing activities/sports I enjoy. And packing my schedule with hangouts even if I don't really feel like it. Having spare time with nothing planned at all, or if I'm procrastinating, really makes me feel like crap mentally. Reading self-help books. Journaling, but only when I feel the need. I don't need another must. Spending money on takeout and other things I normally only do with other people when I'm by myself. Giving myself permission to relax even when there is stuff to do. Not allowing myself to talk negatively about myself. I want to sleep better and exercise as well, but I'm taking small steps. Not dwelling. Understanding my moods. Cooking/planning small dinner parties for friends. Being social every other weekend. Sleeping when I need to. Speaking up for myself, if not immediately then later. I have a hard time understanding as it's happening. Not chasing any relationships. Letting what flows to flow naturally. Showering. Cutting my fingernails. Going and getting my haircut professionally cut. Paying bills on time. Just a lot. Been pretty proud of myself lately. What things are just overhated? Furries. With the way the internet talks about them, you'd think they were outside banging each other in their costumes being a menace. Meanwhile, I've yet to see even a single furry ever. Religion. I feel like most people say they hate religion when really they just hate Christianity due to their own personal experiences. Which is fine. But I feel it's quite xenophobic to constantly shove atheism as the supreme belief all the time. So do you hate Shintoism, Sikhism, Buddhism, and all the other religions that are deeply integral to people's cultures? And religions you probably know nothing about but hate on anyway because it isn't based on science? Logic is important. But not the only aspect of having a fulfilling life. Abortions. Yes, I said that, especially life/saving medical abortions in which mother or child faces complications to the point well-being of one and or another is as risk of fatality. Or someone who had been raped and does not want to birth a child of man who forced her to take it in the first place. Feel free to try and change my mind, but I must say good luck. I will never feel bad for my opinion. Sugar. There will come a time when your body craves it. And needs the treat. Go for it. It's food. Buy yourself a Pepsi/ice cream/candy bar/chocolate cake/honey or whatever else. Just don't lie yourself to have more because it's labeled sugar-free. Diet. And 0-cal. Probably gonna get backlash for this. But furries. A lot of people unnecessarily hate furries because of misinformation and stereotypes. The fandom has issues for sure. But so does every group. At the end of the day, being a furry is just a little hobby. Nothing more. Although some people do take it too far. Don't hate a group just because you misunderstand it. Loners. Why don't you like being around people? I am alone a lot because I sense a lack of love in people for themselves and other people quiet frequently, which reflects into the treatment of others. Mostly, I choose to let people into my little world based on an intuitive assessment of their addictions based on belief systems and attitude towards emotions such as rage, anger, belittlement and so on, and a bare minimum of ethical behavior. After a breach in proper conduct like in socializing or debating, I give some chances to reflect and discuss, but if I sense there is no interest in authentic change or willful abuse, I remove myself quickly. I don't know how to describe it. But every time I try to hang out with people, they just drop their load of infinite problems on me. complaining about every little inconvenience in their lives. And as much as I understand that people need someone that listens, I simply cannot deal with that kind of bad energy. It drains me and I keep thinking about it for days when all I wanted was to tackle some interesting topics that I've been learning more about. They never care to listen. Always interrupting the convo. So yeah. I'd rather be by myself. Read more and do things that actually lift my spirit. I love my friends and I don't mind hanging out with people. But it's almost like every single person gets on my nerves. Even my best friend who I do hang out with almost every day. They either just say mean shit jokingly, and I'm not talking about like just picking on me. Like fucked up BS about my family. Etc. Keep asking me for stuff. Leaving me behind / acting like they're too good to be hanging out with me. Etc. And I know the easy answer to this would be to find new friends. But A, it's not as easy as it sounds. And B, they're not always like this and I love them all. Ike. Sometimes it's just easier to be alone, Lamau.